decently priced. This is now not the best time to buy video games.
Yeah, everything's really expensive.
Yeah. Pandemic really like took a lot of hobbies and gutted the prices, so like they're outrageous for a lot of games and collectibles and all that fun stuff. Hey puppers, welcome to a new playthrough. Yeah, this is gonna be a Sega Genesis game, a good old classic, and I'm playing it on Sonic's Genesis collection on the Xbox 360.
You know, I played a couple levels of this game.
Yeah, you tried out this game in a far-off galaxy.
In a land far, far away.
An evil alien force is at work. There's evil afoot.
Evil!
Evil!
So...
The evil tyrant, Greedy, has corrupted the planet leaders.
I love the colors.
Oh yeah. And enslaved the populace. Even the legendary hero has been captured. A desperate plea for help is made.
Alright. Here he is. And just so that you guys know, I have a little bit of congestion. So if I sound weird or if you hear me like coughing, promise I'm not dying.
And answered by the hero's own son. Yeah, this is Ristar. It doesn't really matter how you pronounce it. We're gonna go with Ristar. It's Ristar.
It's Ristar.
Because like in Japan, it's pronounced Ristar.
Because they don't have that sound.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that.
All right, but yeah, this was one of the last Sega Genesis games. So this was like at the end of the route, made by Sonic Team.
Because I know this was like the original Sonic. Like this was the idea they had.
Yeah, Sonic had many
Sonic.
concepts before they settled on
Sonic the
Hedgehog. Yep. And like originally he was with a human girl, and like there was all kind of concepts until they were able to narrow it down to just Sonic the Hedgehog stopping Dr. Robotnik from roboticizing animals. So they really like narrowed it down. But Sonic was conceived solely to compete with Mario. Like they were just like, we need to design something hip, something cool to compete with Mario and get a certain audience. And that was the whole point of his design. Whereas with Ristar, they went back and they were just like, what could we do with this character that we haven't done with Sonic? And they did the stretchy arms.
If I'm honest, I like Ristar better than
I do
Sonic.
too. I like Ristar a whole lot better.
I think that it's just like, the gameplay is almost, it feels more fun.
Well, like
you have more
there's
control.
not that trial and error kind of gameplay where like speed is like a reward or however you want to take it, to where you have to know what's coming up front
Well, yeah, because
to know
if you're
how
like,
to master the
if
level.
you're like in high speed and then all of a sudden a little arrow thing jets out of the ground, you lose all your coins.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't stop, like...
So like it just feels awkward once you get hit, whereas you gotta get hit because that's part of learning.
Yeah.
Whereas in Ristar, you just have those stars as your health points and you collect lives, and it just flows better. Also, like the stringy arm gameplay is just very addicting. There's so much you can do with just grabbing things. Like there's just like 2 buttons you utilize, jumping and grabbing, and it's never dull throughout the entire game.
Now, am I crazy, or do you have this on the Wii as well?
Yes.
Okay, I was
so,
gonna say, because I played this on the Wii, I remember, because I was holding the remote wrong.
So yeah.
And I didn't understand why I couldn't do it. And you were like, yeah, you're holding the remote wrong.
Yeah, hold the remote sideways.
I was
just like a classic NES or Genesis controller.
That was before you moved in and you like came over and you were like, so how far did you get on Ristar? And I was like, I just don't understand. If I want to move forward, I have to like press the down button. If I want to go down, I have to like press the back button. And you're like, what are you talking about?
And then I just grabbed the controller and flipped it, and I was just like,
here's
here's your problem. Here's your problem, little lady.
So if you're ever wondering just how bad at games I am,
I mean,
I was holding the
they've
controller
seen
wrong.
some first impressions videos. If not, you can go back. The Alice video is a very juicy target.
I think my favorite one, though, is definitely Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening is a good one. I really like that one. Yo, son of a bitch, just like a real game! You peckneck!
I definitely thought I had it, and I did not.
Yeah, Ristar is a very expressive character as well.
See, and I love that. I love that he's super expressive. You can tell he's super sassy, but he doesn't have
fair,
to have
Sonic
like, a
was
little
expressive
catchphrase.
too.
Yeah,
Like
but
in the original, if you wouldn't push a button, he'd tap his
yeah,
toe and be
he'd
like,
come on. But like, Ristar doesn't have the time restraints, I guess, of like having a character with words. You know, I feel like he would have been a better.
It's a one and done game because this was at the end of the Sega Genesis lifespan, and next up was the CD and the Saturn, and those didn't do too hot. Where all the ideas they had for a Ristar sequel, they just scrapped. And recently in an interview, the creator of Ristar was just like, honestly, Ristar is just a character of its time. Like, it was fun while it lasted, but like the teams were all disbanded. There's no way we're gonna make another one.
Which is kind of sad because I feel like he could have, if done earlier, saved the Genesis. Like, saved Sega instead
You mean
of like
Saturn and like the CD? Because the Genesis had to end and update to the next one.
I don't necessarily know anything about that, but I mean like how Sega kind of like died a little bit with Sonic. How it's just like,
you mean the newer
movies,
Sonics?
I don't really know what I mean. To be honest.
I don't know
but
what you
it's
mean.
kind of like when I think about Sega.
Because like Sonic was a success from when it
Sonic.
conceived.
Yeah.
And then Sega died with the Dreamcast, which was trying to do like the whole 64-bit era with PlayStation like gutting them like a fish.
Okay.
Their competition like vastly exceeded them. Yes. And they weren't able to stay afloat, so they became just a third-party company with software. And the only one that was producing money for them for the longest time were Sonic games.
Okay.
So that's really all they can produce now. They do others every once in a while, though. It's not just Sonic.
Yeah, like I don't
But
think
Sonic's
I've
the big
ever
one.
seen a new Sega game come out. Like I've never like
Because they appear on Nintendo consoles and
Yeah.
PlayStation consoles. Sega's newest game was that Balan Wonderworld, which was apparently a huge flop.
Well, see, that's the thing is like it looked like it was gonna be good, and then all of the reviews were like, "This is terrible."
And I usually don't go off reviews, but apparently, like, you have one button for your actions, and it swaps between jump and action.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, that's not fun.
Why would they do that?
By the by, we just beat the first boss.
I saw.
Whee! But the first time I played this was on the Wii's Virtual Console. That was the first time I actually played Sega Genesis games. Because I didn't grow up with the Sega Genesis, I grew up with the Super Nintendo. So when they came to the Wii, I got 4 games on the Virtual Console that intrigued me. Sonic 2, which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Ristar, which is my favorite of the 4. Gunstar Heroes, which is a fun multiplayer. And Pitfall the Mind Adventure, which was very intriguing.
Yeah, I grew up with Sega, but I grew up with like 3 Sega games. And we just rotated between those 3 Sega games, which was Mortal Kombat, The Lion King, and then we had a third one, and I don't remember what it was.
Ah,
It was a weird like one-off game.
okay. There's the walrus cough.
Yeah.
I knew it would appear sometime during this
Yeah.
video.
So I think the thing is, I like went to sleep with my hair wet, with the fan pointed directly on me,
Yeah, don't do
and then
that.
I just now I have some congestion.
Rule of thumb,
Nice
don't
little
do
cough.
that. But,
But I have my hot tea, some cough drops got me
there
today.
you go.
and
Yes.
we'll be good.
Here's hoping. But yeah, this is part of the Sega Genesis collection, which has like 30 games, and it was a way for me to experience a lot of games that like I've never even touched before. I never played Streets of Rage before, or Vector Man.
I'm trying. Oh, we did have Sonic, so I think it might have been 4 games
Okay.
that we had. I'm still trying to think what that one-off game was. I might have to ask my brother.
Yeah. Ask him which one it was, and then I'll find it. But now I actually have a Sega Genesis, and I'm currently looking for cartridges that are decently priced. This is now not the
Yeah.
best time to buy video games.
Yeah, everything's really expensive.
Yeah. Pandemic really like took a lot of hobbies and gutted the prices, so like they're outrageous for a lot of games and collectibles and all that fun stuff. But I have a couple Sega Genesis games that I didn't grow up with that are not part of either collection I own. So, that's nice.
Nah.
It's nice to experience what the other kids were playing.
Yeah.
While I was playing the Mario, people were playing the Sonics and the Ristar.
In my head, and I know this is not the exact way it went, but it was like, in my brain, like, the poor kids had Sega, and the wealthy kids had Nintendo. And I don't know why I think that way.
Yeah, I don't know why you think that way either.
I don't know, because I'm pretty sure.
I just know that growing up, you were either one or the other.
Yeah.
And as I got older, I'm just like, well, I can buy both.
Well, it was also, it's like now, you're either iPhone or Android.
Exactly.
I wonder if there's like a relation there. Hey, all
Probably.
you Android fans, did you play Sega or Nintendo? Drop a comment.
Yeah. But yeah, Sega was for the cool kids.
You know what's really funny? My sister had a Nintendo. When she got older, she bought a Nintendo 64 with her own money because she was old enough to have her own money, and she has an iPhone now.
That's amusing.
Me and my brother played Sega, and we both have Androids.
Well, how about that?
You played Nintendo, you had an iPhone.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
There's a correlation here.
Yeah.
I'm sensing a conspiracy.
You're gonna make your assumptions then, I guess. Maybe. Right. This is an interesting mini-boss. You just have to watch. Because the nice thing about Ristar, and I think like this was one of the first games to do it, is like there's a lot of action happening in the background and the foreground as well. Not just the plane in which you're playing on. You have to pay attention to what's happening in the background and what's happening way in the foreground as well, which is more common nowadays in those 2.5D games.
See, I
but
really
at this time wasn't that common.
Yeah, I really like 2.5 games.
Okay.
At least the idea from what I've seen of them so far.
Just two-dimensional characters on a three-dimensional plane, something like that.
I think it because we brought it up in Hat in Time.
Yeah,
where they're three-dimensional characters on a two-dimensional plane.
Yes.
And I just really like it.
Okay.
I feel like it's the best of both worlds. And there's no camera controls.
Well, I don't know how a Zelda game would work in 2.5D or something like that, but for platformers, definitely.
Well, I feel like an RPG or an adventure game in general probably wouldn't work well on that, because the whole point is to adventure.
Yeah, to explore and go beyond the great beyond. Yep. You were sharing like the one song in English. I'm like, oh, I see. She listens to the good music when I'm not in the car.
So I didn't put on a playlist. I just shuffled my songs that I have favorited. And that one just so happened to come on, and I was like, oh, hey. Whee! I have Black Paper Moon on that too.
Oh, yeah, I really like that cover.
I have a couple.
Is it the same artist?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. How about that?
Yeah, I have a couple of his.
I hear you. Thank you.
I can't remember his name, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Okay.
But he does a lot of anime covers.
Very cool. No, I like it. I liked that one metal cover you showed me of Be a Man.
Yeah.
Make a man out of you.
That guy is awesome.
That was insane. Props to that artist.
He's solely on YouTube.
Okay, cool.
I'll have to share a link.
So he doesn't have a Spotify or anything?
I don't think so. I haven't found anything. I'm sure he probably has a SoundCloud or something with Apple.
So the nice trick about this is if you kill them before the water touches them, they don't come to life.
Oh.
So you can beat them before they become an actual hassle. Because when they come to life, they'll circle around you.
Okay.
Pretty fast. But if you take care of them before the water hits them, you got nothing to worry about.
I'll have to share his link on our Facebook page. So if you want to hear a metal cover of Be a Man from Mulan.
Yeah. Check out the
Pupcorn
Facebook page, yeah. But I played this game a lot on the Wii, so that's how I developed a skill. This is one of those games that the first couple worlds, I got it memorized. Then later on, I'm just dear God. And the final boss is a troll. I hate the final boss of this game. Cool music, cool aesthetic, but it is such a bastard to play. I'll explain more when we get to it. For now, swimming controls.
Swim!
And this is one of the games where, like, it doesn't... That's another thing I like more than Sonic. Ristar can swim. Sonic just, like, you gotta find Bubbles or he'll drown.
Yeah, Sonic is a Belmont.
No, not as bad as a Belmont. Belmonts touch water and they evaporate.
Ah!
They go, ooh, da-da-da-da-da-da,
Insta-death.
Whereas Ristar is more like Donkey Kong. They just swim around. Only Ristar can attack underwater. Whereas Donkey Kong needs a swordfish.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cute.
You can only attack underwater if you utilize the swordfish.
I like that. That's cute. It's clever.
The Donkey Kong games are like very... They were the game where Nintendo fired back at Sega.
Okay.
Because for the longest time it was like Genesis does what Nintendo don't. And all this stuff. And we got blast processing and all that. And then Donkey Kong came out, and they, like, we have 3D rendered graphics in
like,
a 2D plane.
Get ready.
And they were just like, welcome to the jungle, not on Sega. And then they developed, like, the Play It Loud, so, like, Nintendo kind of shot back for a second. Which, I don't know, looking back, there are some games that, like, Sega just did better, and there were other games where I'm just like, nah, Nintendo, like...
They just had different vibes, like...
Definitely. Like the whole fast-paced adventure Sega had, but like, fuck. Super Nintendo had them beat on RPGs. And like, I've played a handful of Sega RPGs, and like the only ones I really liked so far, aside from Phantasy Star, was Shining Force.
Okay.
That one was really cool.
Both of those names ring a bell.
Mm-hmm. Shining Force is
I know I have
Sega's
pages.
Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Which Fire Emblem, for the longest time, was Japan only. They didn't bring it into the States until,
Japan
God,
keeps
like
all the good
2004. They still act like that. At the time of this recording, the Olympics are going on, and Nintendo, for some reason, pulled their music from the Olympics. I think it was just a dispute. Probably had something to do with money.
That's so funny. There was probably like a gamer nerd that's like, listen guys, we can save a chunk of change by using game music. And they're like, I know, we'll use Nintendo. And Nintendo is just like sitting at their houses and they're like, my wallet is tingling. And then all of a sudden,
Someone thinking our fun.
and then all of a sudden, no more Nintendo music on the Olympics.
Because I was listening to clips and they have like Kingdom Hearts music, Chrono Trigger music, and I'm just like, wow, amazing that everyone's here but Nintendo. And then I read an article that like right at the last minute Nintendo pulled out. Said, nope, none of our Zelda, no Mario, get out of here. I'm just like, what the fuck, Nintendo?
It's kind of sad.
You are
because
stingy
that
with
would've
your
been,
music.
Like, that would have been really, like, could you imagine having like the luge? I know luge isn't in the Summer Olympics, so don't attack me.
All right.
But like, could you imagine like the luge team just like going down, like the tennis players just back and forth to Mario.
Da 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 da, punk. Da 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 da, punk. Da 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 da, pink. All right.
Like it's just, it would be really funny. It was a missed opportunity.
I mean, Nintendo's just stingy when it comes to their products. They will take their ball and go home.
Yeah.
They've proven that time and again. And like, the more I learn about Nintendo, the more I learn that like everything I like about Nintendo is the creative team.
Yeah.
And then you have like the legal team and
Oh,
like,
yeah.
stuff like that, which are they're scumbags,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term. And we will continue on that tangent of thought in the next part because we are on to Planet 3, Planet Scorch.
Toodles. I got my toodles out without dying.